up, Laker Nation? Let's go. Lakers survive, baby. 125, 121. Let's go, Lakers. Yes, sir. Hey, what I tell you about Russell Westbrook, man, I told y'all he's still in there. That triple-double machine, 30-plus points. Oh, my good. Oh, wow. Like, what a game. All right. I was on the edge of my seat. I was nervous. I was scared. I was excited. All the emotions into one, man. This was the win of the year. No LeBron James, no THT, no Ariza. We win, baby. This hugest gut check win. And this one should calm down Laker Nation and let y'all know that we got a squad. And when they come together, be careful, man. Be careful because I'm going to get to the stats. And there's some terrifying stats for the rest of the league. And I want to let y'all know, man, this Laker team is getting ready. This is just scratching the surface. We made so many mistakes. We played poor defense at times. We played in spurts, but man, we are so talented that when we erupt, it's an offensive explosion. And I got to tell you, Russell Westbrook looked like OKC Thunder Russell Westbrook. I told y'all AD was going to be a monster tonight. We needed that. But Russ really freaking surprised me. Malik Monk, big-time game. Austin Reaves, cojones, man. He knocked down shot after shot. That was just clutch, man. That comeback really impressed me. Break it all down right now. Just gotta calm down because I'm so hyped still, guys. That was impressive as heck. And we overcame a huge obstacle because the Spurs, they weren't going to go away. We had to put them away. All right, the Lakers really had to dig deep on the road. No LeBron James to put them away. My boy said, Dan, the Lakers are on the way. Chemistry is needed. Yes, chemistry is definitely needed. But we see, what an offensive explosion by Russell Westbrook and our boy AD. And a clutch bucket by Monk. I told you guys he was big time. I told y'all he was coming here to knock down big-time shots and make plays. He was fearless on the road. These are the type of players we missed last year in the playoffs. All right? Now, Melo had an off game. All right? He was 0 for or like 1 for like 20. But you know what? At the end of the day, he made a big-time bucket down the stretch. We need those guys. Let me calm down. All right, let's break it all down, guys. Lakers win 125-121. DeAndre Jordan was actually decent. He had 9 rebounds, 7 points, a couple of blocks. Anthony Davis had an MVP-type performance. 35 points, 17 rebounds, 4 assists. All of Laker Nation held their breath when the man went down with injury. All right? We all held our breath. We was holding that knee. I was like, oh, no, please don't tell me he tore something, a meniscus or something. Oh, I was like, please, no, God, please. And, God answered my prayer, and everything was good. It looks like it was just a knee-to-knee contact. But this was the type of game that I feel like the naysayers had to see from Russell Westbrook especially, and from the Lakers to really understand why I said we have more than enough to win a championship on this team. And we're going to become that championship contending team. I'm telling you right now, everybody thinks that the Lakers are old. We are not. 125 points, no LeBron James, and a ton of mistakes, a ton of wide open missed layups, a ton of opportunities, a ton of wide open missed shots we left. We really could have scored 150 if we were on our game today. I'm telling you how good we played. But the Lakers survive in overtime. All right, I want to go through the stats because very impressive here, guys. I already went through AD. He was 35 and 17, 4 assists, 3 blocks. Phenomenal. Russell Westbrook. All right, now this is the one I want to rub it in the haters' face because, no. The haters that were in the comment section talking about trade him, blah, 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 blah. The man went off, and I told you guys he still has game. All right, and when he reaches in there and just pulls his heart out and hands it out to his team, it's on a platter, and he goes off, all right? Let me read you his stat line just so the naysayers can shut up after tonight. 33 points, 8 assists, 10 rebounds, and I think he had only 4 turnovers tonight, which I told you, if he keeps it under 5, I'm happy. What a beast, man. I told you guys we needed our 2 stars to carry us, and they did. If you guys were here pregame, I said we definitely need them. Another thing, Malik Monk was clutch and huge. He played 39 huge minutes for us, 17 points. He played some decent defense, got some big-time rebounds, 3 assists, and I thought he was huge, man, with his 17 points. None bigger than that. Balls of steel, walkout 3-point shot when we were down by 2. He put us up 1. That was crazy, man. That was wow. Like that shows you that he's fearless, and he did this on the road. Again, we're missing a major superstar, and we can afford to do that. This is why I predicted earlier. I felt like LeBron was going to rest. We're going to play back-to-back tomorrow. And it was just phenomenal what Russ and all these guys did. But I'm just happy, man. They're proving me right yet again. They're going to take time to gel, but we have more than enough here. Do you guys see it now? All the naysayers talking about trade Russ for this, trade Russ for that. I said, no, I'd rather keep him. I know what he's capable of. He's going to be phenomenal. He shot 55%. Awesome. My boy said, I hate how coach ran an alley-oop play for AD right after his hard fall. I agree with that. And I do want to talk about the negatives because there was some. My boy said, Dan, can you imagine if we had our complete team? That's what I was saying pregame. People are judging us now as if, you know what I'm saying, like we're complete. We haven't been complete all season. My boy Vincent, thank you guys for donations. He said, we are just getting better, getting dangerous. Guys, what a game. I'm telling you, this was probably game of the year early on. There's been plenty of good games this season, but the fight was the most impressive. We were down 12 points in the fourth quarter. We come back. We start playing smart out of the blue. I was like, we still got this if we play smart. Sure enough, the Lakers stop turning the ball over. We start making the right plays. At first, we were settling for three-point shots. We started taking the ball inside. AD was invincible. Nobody could guard him. You know, nobody could guard AD tonight. I don't think Shaq in his prime would have been able to guard him the way he was playing. Okay, I'm capping. Maybe he would have. But, man, that just got me so excited the way him and Russ had that chemistry going tonight. And it just shows you that, especially when there's no real centers in the paint. When AD's out there, he can stretch the floor. You see Russell Westbrook's true potential. I think Frank has to learn from this. And even though DeAndre played a better game today, and I'll give him credit for that, I think he needs to remove DeAndre Jordan from that starting lineup if he wants to unlock this Russell Westbrook. Because this is the Russell Westbrook we're going to need to win a championship. He comes out here like prime steroid mode. He was fearless, man. Did you guys see that poster dunk? Come on, man. When was the last time we seen a poster dunk from Russell Westbrook? That was vintage OKC Thunder Russell Westbrook. That's the one we wanted. That's the one I've been waiting on, man. I told you he was in there somewhere. Once he gets unlocked fully, it's a wrap. He said, what's good, Dan? Laker Nation, how stressful is it to watch AD's almost season-ending injuries every game? It is. I just hate the fact that he falls every time, but I understand. Like, sometimes he falls so that he doesn't injure himself, if that makes sense, I guess, to not put so much pressure on the legs and the knees and stuff. But our superstars carried us tonight, and I'm we're very blessed. We have all this talent on this team. Malik Monk, I told you guys he was a huge pickup. Look at him now. He's a Russ, 33 points, 8 assists, 10 rebounds, only 3 turnovers. Amazing. Shot 55%, plus made a huge shots and played down the stretch. This is the Russ we need, bro. Also, AD and Russ duo, unstoppable. The trio, wait till all three of them start finding out when they need to take over. Tonight was much better. They were taking turns running that train on the Spurs, and we just, you know, it was AD, then Russ, AD, then Russ. And that's what we need to do. Once we factor in all three of them, it's going to really be a nightmare for teams. All right, people were talking about bring Russ off the bench. No, we're going to need him down the stretch. You know, people were talking about trade Russ, this, that. No. Russell Westbrook, I told you guys, when he gets comfortable, he's about to explode on this team. He's still that guy. He's still, what is he, 32, 33? He's still in his prime. He might be looking out of his prime. You know, he might be on the last couple of years of his prime, but he's there. If he stays healthy, we're going to be very blessed to have him, because let me tell you something. You saw what he's capable of. Triple-double machine and, 30-plus points, exactly what the doctor ordered. We didn't have this type of production without him last year. Whenever LeBron would take a game off, nobody else was stepping up. Sometimes Kuz would, but outside of that, we didn't have a consistent. Now we have that guy. It's a big luxury, and it's going to not only prolong the career of LeBron James, but it's going to help everybody just balance out the roster. My boy said Monk should start, Dan. Boy is cold. I told you guys, Jonathan. I told you about this Malik Monk. I've been watching him since his Kentucky days. He's just a smart player. My favorite thing about him is that even though he's athletic and he has a wet jumper, he never forces it. The one he took, he was in rhythm, and for him, he can knock it down from that. The commentators were like, whoa, like he shouldn't take that shot. I liked it. He was in rhythm. He caught that in rhythm. He stepped up to the plate, 1 foot behind the three-point line, knocked it down. He has that range. The guy is cold-blooded, and he's clutch, and he made tons of great plays to keep us in the game, and eventually we won. But game ball definitely goes to Russell Westbrook and AD, especially AD. AD was a beast monster. This is the one we know he's capable of being. But if you guys notice, he really got his game going. The more buckets he got around the basket, the more his rhythm continued to get better. He was even making free throws tonight. He hit that mid-range jump shot clutch, man. That's the AD for MVP that I want to see on the Lakers, man. That's the one. We better show him this clip and be like, keep this type of energy on the court. He said Monk with the 3 from El Paso was clutch. Can't believe he's only 23. I like his game. I said it when we signed him. We need to hold on to him for the long period because he can only get better. You know what I'm saying? His ball handle skills ain't even that bad. He doesn't turn the ball over like that. Some guards that are kind of in a similar build and stature, they tend to be better coming off of screens and stuff. But the thing about him, he's versatile. He can handle a little bit. He could play some point, some shooting guard. You know, he could be a combo guard for us. And I really like the way him and Russell Westbrook looked in the backcourt. I thought that was phenomenal. My boy said Monk balled out, A plus. No, he said A, 33 plus in minus and plus minus. Wow. I'm sorry, I butchered that comment completely. It's just the A, 33 plus in plus minus. Yes, Monk, I'm telling you guys, he's very underrated. He could start Reaves as well. Reaves hit some huge shots. The boy does not look like a rookie. All right, he stepped in, he pump faked him, flew by. Instead of taking a forced three, he stepped in. Instead of trying to, force a layup, turn the ball over, or get blocked, he got that big time mid-range jump shot from the free throw line. That's a veteran move, man. That is a veteran move, and you got to love the way he's so poised. And he held his own on defense. Did you see? He wasn't really getting broken like most rookies would. Oh, man, that was phenomenal. Let's go, baby. Oh, I can't believe it. What a win. What a win. What a win. Great win tonight. No way last year's teams wins this. That's another great point, but that just shows how deep we are. Without LeBron James, no THT, no Ariza, no Kendrick Nunn. Who else am I missing? No Wayne Ellington. That's 5 key rotation players. You plug those in, we're going to be a total different team once we get it going. My boy Dan has over 600 people on live. Oh, yeah, that's nothing there, Ernesto. You should see when the playoffs roll around. We be getting like 2,000 in here. So that's nothing. Please smash the like button for your boy. He said, prayers for Jokic? What happened to Joker? I didn't see. Is he all right? He said AR-15. That's a great nickname, too. Reaves is Gordon Hayward. You know what? That's a great comparison. He's not there yet, though. But if he ever becomes that kind of player, oh, my goodness. We get an all-star caliber player out of an undrafted position. He said, shout out to those Laker fans in San Antonio representing. Absolutely. We run the world. Every arena we go to, now that, COVID is starting to slow down a little bit, you're starting to see the fans back. We run the world, bro. This is the best place on earth is Los Angeles. And when we go out there, man, we just truly represent. Knee contusion, bump knees with I was scared. When he was holding his knee, I thought he tore something, man. I was hoping for no ligament damage, nothing. And I think the biggest win of tonight was just the fact that he should be all right. But it is scary with Anthony Davis. He's constantly on the ground holding something. I'm like, oh, what is it now? His bladder? What is his, what was going on? You know what I mean? But I'm so happy, man. He said, re-sign Trey Turner and forget about Seager. Nah, I'm bringing back Seager. We drafted him, and, I like to build from the ground up for sure. He said, need to block bandwagoners. No, I want the bandwagons to be here so that they can feel my wrath because they continue to just plague the channel and say, trade Westbrook, trade Westbrook. I don't see one person say trade Westbrook now. And I told you guys that would happen. Where are the haters that were saying trade Westbrook? He's garbage. He's done, blah, 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 blah. I don't see none of them. I don't see one comment. I dare one of you guys to come out right now. Tyrone, appreciate you, man. Thanks so much for the donation, bro. He said, Lakers dancing, we get a winning streak going. I hope so. And we play tomorrow again versus a young OKC Thunder team. So he's going to go back home and play versus the old Thunder team. I expect another big game from Russ, but we'll see. Westbrook was fire. Yes, he was. Laker Nation for life. He definitely was. And I'm so glad we have him on our team. I felt after having somebody as flimsy and weak as Dennis Schroeder, we needed a Russell Westbrook. This is why I predicted him coming over and the Lakers taking interest in him. A lot of people didn't see the fit, but now they're going to open the third eye, man. They're going to start seeing the fit because apparently their main two don't work. Like Russell can fit anywhere as long as you have the right pieces around. We have plenty of shooters this year. People don't want to give us credit, this, and that. But what Russell is, he's heart, hustle, grit, and grind. And his defense ain't half bad. He had a couple clutch steals as well that helped, advance this game forward. But I love it, man. I love it. I love to tell haters they're wrong because they're too fair weather. One game they're talking about trade Russ, next game they magically disappear. I guess I'm Houdini because I can make these clowns disappear. Like, where are they at in the comment section? He said, I thought it was a home game. Laker fans in the house. Every game is a home game for us, man. We taking over one city at a time. He said, Westbrook did well. Come on, man. Don't call him Westbrook. Call him steroids. Call him something loving and playful. But Westbrook, come on, dog. Like that's so Skip Bayless. You know what I'm saying? He said, "Man, I love being a Laker fan. I was on the edge of my seat." Absolutely, Tyrone. There's no better feeling than when the Lakers grind out a win like they did tonight. Man, it just feels great because you know what? We have to give major props and credit to the San Antonio Spurs. They were disciplined. They stayed there the whole time. They didn't go away. They could have went away. Each one of our runs when we went up 6, 7, 8 points, they kept fighting back. So they're a very disciplined team. Credit to Greg Popovich, right? He's a great coach. So we knew we were in for a dogfight. Matter of fact, if you guys were here for my prediction, I had us winning by 3 points. We ended up winning by 4, so I was 1 point off. But bottom line is, man, we have the depth, okay? And we didn't talk enough about the role players. Thanks, Passionate Believer. Appreciate you. I want to talk about some other role players that made an impact on this team as well. Kent Bazemore's defense, his 5 points and 3 rebounds won't show up in the stat sheet, but his defense is great, man. He got a couple of steals as well. Austin Reaves, we already talked about him. Carmelo had an off night, but he hit a huge bucket down the stretch. Rondo had 8, 3, and 2, so he continues to do his thing, you know. Dwight Howard is a presence all the time. You know what I mean? Dwight Howard is a presence. He's somebody that even when he's not getting the blocks and rebounds, he bothers people's shot. But tonight he had a couple of clutch, huge blocks, and we have to continue to give him props. Now, I thought one of the questionable lineups at the end of the game was when Dwight was out there with AD and Reeves. They were doing amazing things on the defensive end, but then he got pulled out in favor of other players. This is my problem with Coach. I feel like we're going to need Coach to just read the situations better. For example, DeAndre Jordan started off really hot. Shout out to Westbrook for getting him going. And this is why I kind of wanted DeAndre to stay in the starting lineup, because I know Westbrook and LeBron will get him involved. And let me tell you something about centers like DeAndre. I don't care if they're 100 years old. If they're getting lob tip dunks and stuff like that, guess what? Now they're jumping extra high on the block attempts and getting extra rebounds. And that's what happened with him tonight. I feel like he was motivated because it was kind of like a flashback of when he was on the you know what, and he used to play good, right? So that's my only concern about DJ. I feel like if you take him out of the rotations, we'll be really thin at the front line. And we're having him there, it gives us that extra depth. Even when he sucks, at least when he sucks, you can just pull him out like that. So that's why I'm like on the fence about starting him or not. He said, exactly. Vogel doesn't read lineups well just yet. He needs to learn his team better because there's some lineups that work way better than others. Some lineups, like you could even see it in the plus minuses. We go up 10 points and then boom, he yanks them out and we start losing. He just needs to ride the hot hand and then, you know, till it dries. Once they start playing bad or they look tired, then you pull them out for the rest of the players. But that's my only complaint about tonight with Frank Vogel. I thought plenty of times players got hot and boom, he pulled them out. And he stayed on his minute restriction. I don't like that at all. I like a coach that will ride the hot hand, ride the momentum, and be able to adjust to defensive and offensive matchups on the fly. You know, we don't want the mismatches either. So he said Monk and Westbrook at the backcourt is a strong it is strong as you know what. Wow. And you know what, Frederick? We knew what Monk was when we acquired him, but this guy is probably our best consistent shooter. I feel like every time he has his feet set and he pulls up, I feel like it's going to go in. I don't know about you guys. Am I the only one that feels that way? The guy's really good, man. Young, quick Spurs were a problem. Absolutely, Craig. And every quick team so far this season has gave us huge problems. I don't expect that to change tomorrow versus the Thunder. They're also very young and athletic. They got a couple of new players. And they have the very problematic Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, he's going to be a handful, but I believe in this team. I feel like we've seen enough glimpses to where we're like, wow, if they could just sustain that for 48 minutes, we would be such a force. We'd be blowing out teams. But the only thing, again, the rotations have to get right and the player chemistry has to get right. Once we're able to sustain that type of effort, energy, and smart play from all of our players, both starters and bench, then we're going to be the only team that can stop ourselves. I'm telling you right now. AD should rest tomorrow. I agree. How about we play LeBron and we rest AD and we start Carmelo at the power forward and we have DeAndre or Dwight at the center? That'd be great. I'd be cool with that. I think we can still win without AD. We're that deep, and that is the luxury of having a Russell Westbrook. I told you guys tonight it's not really a test, but this is why we brought Russ here. I need to see him have a big game, and that's exactly what he did. Same thing with AD. This is why we pay him the big bucks. This is why he's our main dog. We got to make him, he has to show up, and he did. So these are the type of games that are very winnable that we need to win. That way, when we get healthy, we're going to be an even bigger problem. But how y'all feel about this win? I feel like this is the biggest gut check of the year, and we passed the test. Let's see how many more of these we can win, because to be honest, our first 2 wins have been versus winnable teams. Now, I want to see us get a win like this in the future, but versus a harder team. You know what I'm saying? Like versus the Suns or versus a team like that we know, or the Warriors or something like that. Travis Williams, appreciate the sticker, man. Thank you so much. He said, Dan, can you talk about the Spurs pick and roll and what the Lakers should have done? We have struggled. I'm glad you brought that up, by the way, Victor. We have struggled really bad guarding the pick and roll. I feel like, when we go under, we need to know our personnel. We need to know who we're going under on. These shooters are lights out versus the Lakers. For some reason, anytime these players play versus us, they shoot even better than their career percentages. I don't know why. We have a huge target on our back or whatever. They feel good versus the purple gold. I don't know what it is, but they shoot a lot better. Now, sometimes we go under, sometimes we go over, and we trail on those screens. And now we basically leaving the big man in limbo. And you don't want to leave them in limbo, backpedaling, trying to guard 2 people, because now these guys can hit the teardrop. And even if they miss, their big man is most likely going to be there because our big man exerted all his energy and effort in trying to block the shot, right? So it's really hard for the big man to figure out which way he wants to gamble when our guards are leaving them in limbo. So they have to do a better job of switching, communicating, and the weak side coming over to help as well. But also you got to know your personnel. It's really hard to guard the pick and roll in the NBA because there's shooters all over. So yes, the Lakers have to get much better there, but so does every team in the league. Like I said, pick and roll defense is tough. Hey, Dan, we're leading the NBA in 3-point percentage. Really? That's interesting. I didn't know that. Wow. What a turn of events that would be. If that's confirmed, that would be huge, guys. See. Here's the thing. This is my problem with you, Jew Pal. This guy said Westbrook and LeBron are not a fit. Bro, they said Westbrook wasn't a fit on this team, period. Once they figure out, we'll be fine. We got to stop looking for nitpicks, right? This was a great win. You should be excited. Westbrook will fit in just fine. And LeBron James will make it work. I'm not worried about that. It's just that I get what you're saying. They need to, do a better job of figuring out the pecking order and who attacks when and who shoots when. But to say that it's not a fit after we just got a win is kind of ridiculous. I mean, you see Westbrook's potential. He plays extremely hard. And I feel like game by game, he's getting so much better. But come on, man. Let's stop with the negativity. What Westbrook just went off. He fits just fine. He said, like the video already. Come on, y'all. Yes, please. Smash the like button. It truly helps your boy out. I would appreciate it. It only takes a second of your time. I would truly appreciate it, man. Thank you, guys. Dan, should we load manage AD and LeBron? Yes. I've been saying it all season long. We have more than enough firepower. I said it, I felt like even before they announced LeBron was going to rest, I felt like he was going to rest due to the ankle injury. But at the same time, yeah, we have the firepower. Even see, people don't give us credit for being stacked. Even with all these injuries, we're still finding ways to win these little games. This was a tough game. Forget about stars and names. I told you guys, watch out for the no names. I even mentioned Lonnie Walker pregame. He went off. He got a nice jump shot, and he's very shifty and speedy and amazing, man. Hey, Voice of Reason, thank you so much, man. Love the name, by the way. He said, dinner is on me, Dan. Russ and AD were aggressive and efficient tonight. Malik Monk is playing with confidence. Love his offense. Thanks so much, man. I appreciate the donation, bro. Wow. And you know what? I actually do need to go get some dinner after this video, so I appreciate that, man. God bless, bro. He said Braun was helping the coaching staff over there. I'm saying, how can you say somebody doesn't fit with somebody? It's too early to make those assessments. Real people, people that know basketball are not making those assessments. Trust me. People want to be right. It's better to be wrong, but to take your time analyzing something than to be right off of a guess, right? You can't just look at something like, oh, Russell Westbrook went off the first game, LeBron didn't show up, so that must mean they don't fit. No, it just means they're finding their identity. Give them time. My boy Chapito said, exactly, bro. Game by game, we will progress and become the player we all know he is. He's been amazing. All right. Recently, Russell Westbrook has been phenomenal, man. And I feel like every game he gets better. Let's see what he does tomorrow versus his OKC Thunder, his ex team. So you know players tend to have good games versus their ex teams, and then that city of OKC, very classy fans. They love Russell Westbrook, so I think he's going to give them a show, and I'm looking forward to it. It's going to be fun. You guys know where to find me. He said, Dan, keep up the good work. All we need is time. Appreciate you, Ernesto. Thank you so much, brother. Man, it's just, you know what? The encouraging thing, and we've seen this from game one, right? We saw this from game one. This team has a ton of potential. We see it in Spurs. Like I said, the team, even after this win, we are yet to put 4 good quarters together. Think about this. We had a good first quarter and a good second quarter, and then we struggled big time. We had a quarter from hell in the third quarter, and that seems to be the theme. We're having a bad quarter every game. If we can erase that bad quarter and at least have a subpar quarter where we can stay afloat and keep our lead, or at least most of it, Lakers find out how to do that, we'll start blowing out teams. Trust me. But because we have the talent to do it. I mean, it doesn't change the fact that we are a super team just because we struggled early on. You know what I mean? Miami Heat got off to a slow start when they had the big 3 over there. So some teams take longer to gel than others, but I actually think we're ahead of the curve. Games like tonight prove to me that my point stands. Like when people ask me for trades and stuff, I say, no, I'm rocking with my team. We have more than enough. I think I'm right again about this, and I look forward to seeing them evolve together as a unit. And the healthier we get, ooh, let me tell you something, man. This is going to be scary hours are going to be here. And it's not even Halloween. But I'm telling you, Laker Nation, you got the best team in the NBA if they put it together. It's like a jigsaw puzzle. Once they get the colors all on the same side, then we're going to be good to go. He said, we need to sit AD and LeBron tomorrow and let Russ just eat. And I know Melo had a bit of an off night, but tomorrow he'll be back on track, and Monk. I'm not sure about sitting them both. Depends on how LeBron feels. Obviously, if he's still swollen from his ankle or they just want to sit him for whatever reason, yeah, we have more than enough firepower. And like you said, I believe in Melo. I even wanted the Lakers to play him in the fourth quarter, even though he struggled. And it paid off. You know, he had a couple nice rebounds and a nice little layup for us. But, you know, these are players that are not afraid to take big shots even when they're struggling, and they'll make big shots. Tonight, it was just Russell Westbrook's turn and Anthony Davis's. You know, the last night it was Anthony Davis. But one thing we know for sure is that we can count on those big names. It's not like last year when we only had LeBron and AD, and when they didn't show up, you didn't know who was going to show up. Now you know the names to circle on the list: Russell Westbrook, Carmelo Anthony. And also now you can start adding guys like Malik Monk and Austin Reaves. They've been very efficient and consistent as well on both ends of the court, man. So it's going to be a blast. He said Reaves looks experienced, and it seems he already knows his role on the team. He doesn't look like a rookie. I'm saying the same thing. OTLF, man, I'm telling you the same thing, bro, is that the Lakers, they have a great eye for talent, for young talent. And the scary thing is that my favorite young player on the team is not even on right now. That's THC, and he was looking crazy scary during the preseason. Like, he was yamming on folks. He was out here posterizing everybody. He was knocking down his shot when open. His ball handle looked a little bit better. Like, he's getting better. So the young talent, and this is why I was okay with trading AD. Remember what I told you guys a couple years back when you guys asked me, would you trade AD for the young core? I said, if we can keep at least one, heck yeah. We ended up keeping Kuzma, so I was cool with it. Why did I say that? Because the Lakers have always shown a keen eye for talent, for replenishing young talent, man. They're phenomenal when it comes to drafting, even when we don't have picks, as you can see Austin Reaves, you know. So, wow, I'm like, we are blessed. We are a blessed fan base. We are very spoiled. We should be super ecstatic for what the front office continues to accomplish, because we are 2-2. Our record doesn't indicate how good we can become. But give it some time and you will see the separation from the West, from the rest of the West. Are you worried about Monk's playing time when THC and Nunn come back? I am worried because, like I said, Frank Vogel, sometimes he doesn't go with the hot hand. He goes for experience or who he favors. So I am concerned, but I think if he continues to play like this, there's no way he can't play him. No way. As far as I feel like they can, stagger the minutes a little bit. Maybe you have THC running with a different unit and you'll have Malik Monk running more with the first unit. But Kendrick Nunn is going to be a huge piece of this rotation too. We really miss him. I'm telling you. I think the one who's going to probably lose minutes when they come back is probably going to be Rondo. He's probably going to be the primary one. And also, we forget we have Wayne Ellington. So I was concerned when we added Avery Bradley, but if coach learns how to read his team and see who's going hot and who's getting better and who's doing what they have to do, then we're going to be just fine. But yes, I do worry because I want Malik Monk to play. I told you I've been a big fan of his for years now. So, but same thing with THT. I want him to play too, and Kendrick Nunn as well. So those are the top 3 guards I think that should play off the bench. The rest should fight for minutes. The rest should all fight for minutes, in my opinion. But those 3 should have consistent minutes. Malik Monk, THT, and Kendrick Nunn. Obviously, and let's not forget Austin Reaves. Those 4 should definitely have consistent minutes. Dan, why do you think coach starts DJ instead of Dwight? God bless, brother. Thanks so much for the donation, Matt. The reason why, well, I think there's multiple reasons for this. I've mentioned it in previous streams, but if you weren't here, I'm going to let you know, bro. The reason why is because, look, he is our weakest link. All right, let's be real. DeAndre Jordan's probably the older-looking player as far as his playing style goes. You know, he could barely jump over a magazine and you know, when it's laying flat on the ground. But sometimes he has a little jolt of energy, and he looks like old DJ, right? And so if I'm Frank Vogel, I think in the beginning of the season, he was probably saying, how do I maximize this player's potential without just having an extra body to bury at the end of the bench? Probably said, if I throw him with the starters, he will be more motivated because, you know, egos matter. People like to start. You throw him out there, now all of a sudden he's running a little extra hard because he wants to keep his starting job. All of a sudden he's crashing the glass a little better and maybe getting you a block shot or 2 a game, which is more than you can say if you bury him at the end of the bench. That's reason number 1, I think he's starting DJ. And I kind of semi-agree with that. Reason number 2 he's starting him is because Dwight gets in a ton of foul trouble. Tons of it. So those are the 2 reasons I think that he starts over Dwight. I prefer Dwight as a player, but obviously, you know, if you can somehow mask your biggest weakness, which is DeAndre, you know, I think that's the best case scenario for the Lakers. Now, there's some nights where he's going to get cooked. Tonight, he kind of got cooked, but we were able to mask it with the great play from Russell Westbrook, and AD was able to offset whatever that guy Jacob Poltelli or whatever his name was. He was eating. He was feasting in there, especially anytime DJ was down there. So, but again, I just root for these guys, man. No matter what the starting lineup is, it's not about how you start, it's how you finish. And I think Frank Vogel has done a good job of finishing the games with AD in the 5 and allowing that spacing to open up. You know, it's crazy to see the difference of Russell Westbrook when AD's out at the 5 versus when DeAndre Jordan's out there. So, it's a tough subject to tackle, but I'm glad I'm not the coach. Personally, me, I would have slid AD to the 5. I would have had Melo at the 4. I would have had LeBron at the 3. I would have had Austin Reaves at the 2. And I would have had Russell Westbrook at the 1. That would have been my preferable starting lineup because then you maximize potential of everybody. Think about this. If you have Russell Westbrook running the point at the top of the key and you come set a screen with either LeBron or AD, now the defense has to focus on, do they want to guard? Do they want to switch the screen or do they want to send help? If they don't, you can hit the dive man, which is always going to be either the freight train and LeBron James or the very skilled big man in AD. Now he's looking at a one-on-one off of the screen and roll with momentum going towards the basket. It's probably going to be a bucket or a foul. On the other hand, if they switch that, now Russell Westbrook is, you know, either going to be able to drive the lane and get a dunk like he did tonight, or draw an extra defender from the corner or from the wherever he's at. And now you got shooters like Austin Reaves out there. You got shooters like Carmelo out there. You know what I'm saying? So you want to, for me, that's what I want. I want this Laker team to find out the best combinations. But I do understand why. I do understand, you know. Am I lagging for reals? My bad. If I'm lagging, I apologize. Let me see if I can clear this really quick. All right, he said Dwight typically outplays the second string big. That's another reason. That's true, Jonathan. That is another reason why. You know, Dwight, obviously, you know, he's somebody who can feast off of the bench players. That's another good reason why, for surely. David, I appreciate you, man. He said, I like this guy show better than and more positive than Trevor Lane with his negative overtone and just sit there and condemn the Lakers after a tough win. I'm going to support this guy. I appreciate it, Devin. Thank you so much. Trevor Lane's good too, but yes, through the years, I try to stay positive, man, because it's never the end of the world with the Lakers. We know they always find a way, you know. How about that Westbrook poster? That was crazy, man. But I know he had it in him. I've seen it all off season long. He's over here practicing dunking on the people he's training with. You know, I'm like, yeah, he's gonna have a couple moments like that this season where he turns back the clock and he looks like, okay, see, Westbrook, man. Big statement win. We are here. We just need time to click. Absolutely. Absolutely. But my favorite part is this, and I told you guys this would happen when we were losing and people were saying trade Westbrook, trade Westbrook. Matter of fact, pregame, there was a couple of comments saying trade Westbrook. Now let me ask you guys this, and I want to know, who wants to trade Westbrook now after a game like this, huh? I would really like to know right now in the comment section. Anybody out there, any takers? I didn't think so. I didn't think so, right? So I knew once Russell Westbrook showed you guys what he's capable of, I knew he was going to be out of this world, man. And he's going to continue to get better. He said the Lakers will win next 3 games against the Suns and the Warriors. I hope so, man. We need a big win streak here to eventually be able to, give these guys up, to let these guys rest. We definitely need. All right. Juan Pao says, Ju Pao, I'm sorry, I butchered it. He said, I think they still need to improve the defensive rotation. Hopefully, they will figure it out soon. Definitely. And I do want to talk about some of the negatives of this game. It wasn't all sweet, all right? We ended off on a high note, but there was some defensive lapses. There was even times we weren't even covering the three-point shooter. Like, we would just look at him and be like, I don't feel like getting out there. We need to change those bad habits because that's going to come back and bite us some of these games. Now, we're blessed enough to have crazy offense tonight. I mean, we got to 125 without LeBron on the road. If that doesn't tell you that we have one of the best offenses in the league, I don't know what does, right? But I do agree with you. They do need improvement, and time will get us there, man. Don't be too concerned with that because eventually we're going to be just fine. Trust me. But here's the thing. Frank Vogel is known as a defensive coach. So it's his job. It's his job not to have us have too many defensive lapses and not to have us basically out there flailing on the defensive end, right? Sometimes we over gamble as well. That's also true. But thanks so much for the donation, bro. I appreciate that. My boy said, I believe Rondo is going to get Russ in tune with our roster. Rondo is teaching Russ how to keep the ball out of the China shop, but still in the rodeo. I like that your choice of words, Kim. Absolutely. And thanks again for the donation. You're right. Rondo is a floor general, and he's out there teaching all the time. He's really a coach. He's another coach on the floor, just like LeBron. All right, he's another coach on the floor, and it's like a cheat code. But it's nice to see that Russ was able to keep it under 5 turnovers. That was another key to the game that I mentioned in pregame. So I'm glad they're able to fall through because, again, people were saying this was going to be an easy win. I said, no, we're probably going to win by 3 points. We ended up winning by 4. I'll take it, right? I said, Dan, I would trade Westbrook for Lillard. That's not even on the table. Come on, brother. That's not even on the table. It's a pointless conversation. How about we as Laker fans learn to appreciate what we have and we enjoy? Because let me tell you, there's franchises out there that never had the type of star power we have, and they wish they could at least have one of these 3 players we have, LeBron, Russ, or AD. How about we stop acting like spoiled children and we enjoy what we have at home already? That's how I feel as a fan. We have to live in the moment. I'm glad there wasn't social media back when Shaq and Kobe were dominating because people would have probably been having that weird conversation like we are now. Oh, we should trade Kobe for Rip Hamilton or something crazy, right? So I'm ride or die, man, and I'm going to stick with my squad as long as I was just happy we had Russell Westbrook. I was ecstatic. I'll be honest with you. I've never had a love relationship with Russ before he became a Laker. I was a love-hate relationship. Like, I respected his talent, but I always insulted him because he killed my Lakers every time. And I'm like, man, he's such a punk. And he was always screaming and shouting, and I just didn't like that attitude towards my team. Now that he's for my team, that changes everything. You guys know the rules. Enemy at the door. Once you walk in the door, you're a friend, man. So I'm a big fan of Russell Westbrook now, and I love what he's doing for this team. And he's only going to continue to get better. So instead of talking trades, how about we talk how we can get better, right? People were talking trades out there after preseason. I said preseason is nice, it's better for building habits, but it's not counting. So there's no championships coming from preseason. That dunk by Russ had me hyped. I told you he was still capable of it, man. And if you guys notice, he always sets up his opponent with a little in and out, and then he just takes off. My favorite thing about him is that quick first step he has. He's had it his whole career. Once he gets past you, I'm talking head and shoulders past his defender, he's gonna sky high for a dunk. And now back in the day, that dunk would have been way above the rim. Now he barely got there, right? But I'll take it because he's still explosive down low, right? That explosion to get to the rim at all it's a lot of energy being exerted. And this was in the fourth quarter, so not a lot of players can make that play late in the game. Russell Westbrook's one of the very few, man. My boy said trade Russ for Dan. Even I wouldn't do that. I don't want to be out there in the court instead of Russ, man. Russ is the way better player. You said more pick and rolls. Yes, we do need more pick and rolls. Is Wayne coming back soon? I believe so, Art Fan, because they were talking about they upgraded him from questionable to probable tonight. Now, he didn't play. Maybe coach didn't find a spot for him in the rotation or whatever. But he'll be fine. He'll be sure. Here go the trade rumors. Yep, always, man. We deal with this every year. Keep that positive vibe, man. I'm trying to stay positive with Melo. Personally, never been a fan. But if he can average about 12 to 15 points, it'll be good. Carmelo Anthony, I understand what you're talking about not being a fan. Earlier in his career, there was a lot of naysayers talking about he's very selfish and he only cares about his numbers. That's why he requested the trade from Denver to New York, and he could have just waited a year and went as a free agent and let them keep their assets. So, they took a dump on his image. But I've always liked Melo. Melo's always been a fighter, man, and Melo's been one of even Kobe's favorite players for a reason because he's got a dog in him. And I don't know if you guys noticed, but I'm a student of the game, so I see a lot of the moves he does. He learned those from Kobe, man. His footwork is very phenomenal, even at his age. He's not as quick or explosive or has the same ball handling ability he once had, but he can still do some phenomenal things off a triple threat, like the way he pump fakes and jumped sideways and drew the foul. Like he knew where the defender was going to jump towards, because the new rule, you can't jump at your defender, but you can jump in the direction you think your defender is going to go. And then once he hits you, but it has to be a basketball move, right? Very crafty player, man. Carmelo Anthony is somebody who I've always had, especially after he went to the Knicks. Y'all know that's my second favorite team. I had a ton of admiration for Carmelo. He's been one of the most underrated superstars in the NBA in his prime, and I really want him to get a ring. I want him, Russell Westbrook, all these guys that have been basically shitted on. I want them all to get a ring because they deserve to shut down the media and just give them a big FU. That's what they deserve. They deserve to ride off into the sunset before they retire with a ring, man. And a lot of great players, they end up, not having a ring, and that's tough. Mr. 81, I was waiting for you, man. See, we don't need any sort of, ignorant basketball IQ in this channel. So since you said trade Westbrook, especially after a great game, you get blocked. So congratulations. You played yourself. So I was just baiting to see where the trolls are at, because obviously anybody who still says trade Westbrook after this game is a troll or a hater or not really a Laker fan. Dan, I have lived Melo since – I have loved Melo since he was on Denver. He was a killer and he's still a killer now. Yeah, bro. Yo, let me tell you something. Carmelo Anthony is no jokes. He's somebody who's not afraid to take a big shot. And those kind of players are going extinct nowadays. But there's still some that trickle into the NBA, and that's why the NBA is in good hands. You still have the Trae Youngs, the John Morants. There's still some killers out there, the Damian Lillards of the world, and that's what keeps me being a fan. Because if everybody was tentative and scared and trying to draw free throws like James Harden, if that was in modern day NBA, if it was like that and just soft, I would not be watching. But thank God, there's always going to be some old school mentality type players, and Carmelo's one of those. He's one of the last of the Mohicans. He's one of the founding fathers of actual offense. Of earning every bucket, not flopping for it. So I love that. I love those type of 90s, 2000s type players. Dan, thanks for the link to the game. Going tomorrow night to cheer on the Lakers. Awesome, man. I'm glad the link worked for you guys. You guys always hit me up on Twitter. I hit you with the link. If it ever doesn't work, I still have a couple of other options, so just hit me back. But I'm glad it worked for you, bro, and you were able to watch a phenomenal game. I wouldn't want anybody to miss it for the world. Dan, so Yayi has been removed from the two-way contract spot, right? Yep. And I told you he should, guys. And sometimes I feel like the Lakers watch my channel because they do a lot of moves that I want them to do and I premeditate what they should do, and they end up doing it. Or it could just be that great minds think alike. But I'm very happy that he's no longer on the roster because he doesn't show NBA talent or potential. Now I'm rooting for the kid, and I hope he makes some NBA roster and he develops and eventually proves me wrong that he is NBA material. But as of right now, I really I didn't like his talent. It didn't translate, at least preseason and summer league, to the NBA. And that's kind of sad because I liked him in Gonzaga, right? Dan, did you mention how HBK has a clutch gene? I mentioned how he's very much like a veteran. All right, he doesn't look like a rookie, and that just says the kid has a bright future. He's going to be in this league for a long time if he continues to get better. And who knows? I don't want to say the STAR word, but he might have that potential, man. I want to put that kind of pressure early on him because you know how Laker Nation gets. They destroyed my boy Kuzma when he didn't develop fully into a star. So, you know, I don't want to put that potential, but I do like his. I don't want to put that pressure, but I do like his potential. Same thing with THT, man. Love those guys. My boy says, "Sub DTLF, glad you guys got the win. And your prediction was right. Anthony Davis, Russell Westbrook did their thing. Where the haters at? Or Skip Bayless, clowns. Yeah, bro. I'm just glad that these guys can take an off night because it must be really exhausting to troll the internet and talk about how much of a bum a Hall of Famer like Russell Westbrook is while their fat ass is sitting at home eating potato chips. You know what I mean? Like, it's ridiculous at this point. Can we just have a intelligent basketball conversation without all the trolling? Or sometimes I feel like social media can be a privilege that trolls do not deserve to have. You know what I'm saying? So, like, they love destroying Hall of Fame players, and they probably don't have one athletic bone in their body. And that's where I get offended and I defend these Lakers, man. But you're right, Brian. I appreciate the positivity. Thank you so much. He said, what was beautiful was that it was a team effort. Davis actually closed the scoring deficit in the fourth at the 8-minute mark. He scored a quick 6 points. He said to tie the game. Then Russ finished the job late game. It was. And it was a beautiful thing to watch. And this team is going to continue to develop and get better. And I can't wait till they just find their rhythm. Once they find their rhythm, it's going to be really tough to stop. Like I said, in a 7-game series, if this team figures out who they are and their identity and everybody buys into the role, only the Lakers can stop the Lakers in a 7-game series. And, of course, we have to get healthy. Of course. He said, facts, kind of like having a license and can't drive. There you go. You get the point, right? It's just there's no point of trolling. Like, for example, I said, is there anybody out there that still wants to trade Westbrook? And somebody was in the comment section like, trade that bum Westbrook. I was like, okay, you get blocked because you're clearly not a basketball mind. Either that or you missed the game and you just messed up and got blocked forever on this channel. But whatever the case may be, you just have to be intelligent, man. This is a channel for basketball minds who love basketball. They're diehard Laker fans, and we don't have time for trolls over here, man. Jennifer said, Dan, hell yeah. Back-to-back wins. And let's build on that, Jennifer. Let's get number 3 tomorrow night. And I want to just really quick thank you guys for all the support, love you guys been giving me here on Twitter, even Instagram. All the love, man, support really helps me grow this channel. So I appreciate y'all, man. Major shout out to Laker Nation, the best fans in the world by far, man, and the kindest hearted. And I love y'all to the end, man. So thank y'all so much tonight for tuning in, man. Enjoy this win. I know some of you are going to go on YouTube and rewatch the highlights. I do that sometimes. Just it feels good to rewatch this dub and really take it in without the nerves, right? So just enjoy the rest of your night, guys. You guys deserve it. Much love. I'll see you guys right here tomorrow for pregame. And thank you guys so much for the likes, all the donations, all the support, and everything, man. I'll see you guys